Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm John Miller, and this is How the Hell Did We Get Here? The U.S. History Podcast. If you've been paying attention, you notice that it has been a minute. It's kind of been a lot going on. Had more work than I've had with my regular job in the last year or so. So that has been a big factor keeping me from doing more podcast episodes or YouTube videos lately. I also have had a lot of just bullshit to deal with, unfortunately. We moved into a new place in July and had some difficulty with that, and the landlord hasn't exactly been really helpful. So those of you who have ever dealt with landlord drama know that that's a barrel full of monkeys. It's just fabulous. On top of that, I managed to, in the space of about a month, crash my car. Not really seriously, I'm fine, but it was an older car and just not worth fixing up. So I decided, since my commute is relatively modest, that maybe the best solution in the short term would be to get an e-bike. This area is very bikeable. There's all kinds of great bike paths in the part of Orange County where I live. So it wouldn't have been that hard. And I've ridden a bike around for a long time. It's one of the things I've done for exercise a lot as an adult. And living in, a beach city area, it's kind of a thing that a lot of us do. However, just Friday this week, I managed to do this. And if you're listening, obviously you can't see, but my arm is all bruised up because I took a pretty decent fall and managed to break 2 bones in my right arm, my good arm. One in my wrist and one is the radial head. So it's kind of right at the elbow joint. Super fun. And I've been left-handed for the last few days when I was just getting ready to get back into this, actually. However, all that drama aside, the good news is that I have been doing a lot of reading and writing, researching while I've been away, not releasing new episodes. And I've got 6 scripts ready to go. I've got a few more that I am finishing up. So there's a lot more to come. And I wanted to give any of you folks who've been regular listeners, or even those of you who are new, thank you very much, by the way, a heads up of what is coming. The last episode I did was on the War of 1812, specifically the end of the War of 1812, how it all worked out. And what I noticed as I was reading toward the end of recording that, all the stuff that I'm going to use over the next few weeks, Still the American Pageant, Give Me Liberty, those high school textbooks, or, college entry textbooks because they're designed for AP courses. So it's either AP US History or US History 101 or something. But those textbooks, and then I'm also reading the next book in the Oxford History of the United States series, What Hath God Wrought, which is just a great title and a reference to the very first message ever sent via telegraph, because the telegraph was invented during that period. So I'm reading that, and I'm also reading this other book that I had only recently kind of heard of, which actually I read recently too, was supposed to be a part of the Oxford History of the United States series, but the editors rejected it as too intellectual, not having enough commercial appeal, whatever. And it's called The Market Revolution, and it's about Jacksonian America. The title is like The Market Revolution, Jacksonian America, 1815 to 1845 or 48 or whatever the period is. And I have been really impressed with that book. I think it's great. And what I decided to do, both because I really like that book and because I was having a hard time anchoring any longer episodes around one particular thing. With all the stuff that I've done up to now, I've always found that there was like one thing I could kind of attach a bunch of information to, a bunch of things that happened, a bunch of ideas from the period, whatever. And in the 1815 to 1845-ish period, that wasn't as easy. And I think you all will see that if you watch the coming episodes. So what I'm going to do going forward is a chapter at a time out of the Market Revolution book. It's a book by Charles Sellers, and I think it's really comprehensive and lays out some really important, noteworthy, insightful observations about the historical developments of the period 1815 to 1845. And so I'm going to go through it chapter by chapter. The episodes are going to be a little bit shorter, and I'm probably going to do some sidebars here as well, because another thing that I've wanted to do for a while but have held off on doing is talk about why I think studying history is so important. And I want to try to apply the things I've learned, the things I'm reading about, to what is going on in the world right now, because I think that a historical perspective is really fantastic for understanding the world as it currently works. So that's something I'm going to incorporate as well. So I'm going to release more episodes, a little shorter, more concentrated on particular things. And because there isn't like the Civil War or the War of 1812 or the founding of the new government under the Constitution or the Revolution or these big figures of Hamilton and Jefferson, I did an episode on that to kind of pull in the gravity of everything else going on in the period. Although there are definitely some big important events and some very colorful, impactful figures in this period of time, I just didn't think that any of them were as effective a thing to base an episode around as the other things that I've done. So I think this other approach is going to be better for this period. And, I'll try it and see how it works and see what everybody thinks. And hopefully y'all like it. Hopefully it works out well, but this is still relatively new. I just came up on a year of doing this. I've been at this for just a little over a year now. I think I released my very first episode on YouTube in August. I think it was August 30th of 2024. So it's been a year and it's been quite an experience. I've learned a lot, not just about history, but about all of the stuff related to uploading things to YouTube and having a YouTube channel and trying to manage a podcast and writing the scripts for it and doing the research and all kinds of other shit that I never imagined I would be doing when I first got the idea that I wanted to do this. So there will be more stuff coming. I'm going to probably record the first episode in the next day or two. Hopefully I'll finish editing it within a couple of days of that. And I should be able to publish more stuff over the coming couple of months that'll deal with, again, the period between 1815 and 1845. It's really interesting. It's a period of remarkable change in American history. A lot goes on. And there is a tendency, I know, from talking to people, from listening to even politicians or historians, social scientists, whatever, there's kind of a tendency to do the Revolutionary War, founding of the new government under the Constitution, Hamilton, Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, and then yada, 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 Civil War. And that is not something that I wanted to do. I wanted to give each period its due. And to my mind, you can't really understand the essence, the importance, the gravity of what happens over each period without studying the period before it and seeing the connections, understanding the evolution. And that's what this show is all about. It's what it's supposed to be about. I'm still learning myself, believe me. So more stuff's coming. It's going to be on this period. There's a lot of interesting information in there, a lot of fascinating characters, and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you do as well. Hope you all enjoy what's coming. Please feel free, as always, to reach out. Say something in the comments. Email me at howthehelldiwegetherepod@gmail.com. And just let me know what you're thinking. And if you have any ideas for particular things that you'd like me to talk about, I'm all ears. Okay? Take care, and I'll be seeing you.